Good morning. It's Natalie, the dear hairdresser, here with you Thursday morning saying hello. So, you know on Facebook how we get those lovely little reminders of all of the things that we have done or posted, from a year previous or 5 years previous or who knows what. Well, today mine popped up and it showed that it has been a year since I debuted in the magazine. And I was remembering when I was at the grocery store buying toilet paper today, what that felt like to go in and buy that. If you haven't seen the video, it's my most popular video that I made over the last year. It's called, Hey, Look, It's Me in a Magazine. And it is me shopping for this when it came out last year. It was really exciting. But what I wanted to talk about today wasn't my magazine, but that was really awesome. It was about the girl that was in this magazine, because I am not that same girl today. I'm a different girl. And I wanted to talk about personal identity now that we're at the beginning of the new year, and how important it is when you're the creator of your own life and the writer of your own script, to choose your character well, based on your values, and decide who you want to be for the year. And that doesn't mean that you're being a phony, but I think that the beginning of a year is a great time to reflect and look back on the identities and the roles that you played in your world previously, how those worked out for you, what you want to bring forward with you into the future, and what you want to work on. So on that note, I have been reading and kind of interested in astrophysics lately. So I'm reading Astrophysics for People in a Hurry. Now, chapter 1 is about the Big Bang Theory. I'm way into this kind of stuff, but the mathy science part is really hard for me to understand because my brain doesn't really understand that very well. So the first chapter talks about the Big Bang Theory. Well, as it's written by this guy, it's not a theory. This is, scientifically what's most likely happened. The way that I can understand it sort of in a macro idea, and the way that I think it might relate to a person reinventing themselves, so to speak, is that, so everything starts with a singular idea. That I can't explain this. The part that connected with me was the idea that these energy dots, that something happens where that nothingness suddenly turns into the most intense energy we've ever known. And it becomes so hot that it kind of burns up, it explodes, like it almost destroys itself. And then what's left over after that destruction has happened are all the basis of what is necessary in order for those materials to come together and harden and form life. So, based on quantum physics, there's really no end to this cycle. So, that could just be going on forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay, so my thought on that was hairdresser brain, layman's terms. As people, we are constantly recreating who we are. And what we need to do in that space is almost reabsorb everything in the atmosphere that we had already put out there, And in my eyes, that feels like re-examining everything that you've put out into the world, deciding if that's something that's going to be useful, or if that's something you need to bring back inside and maybe start fresh with. I have been feeling like there is an inhale happening in the world, right? That there is this recollecting, almost moving into a nothingness sort of situation, coming into an explosive head, right? Where I think we're kind of landing right now. And the things are going to be flying kind of all over the place. And it's exactly that explosion that births the new life, right? The new opportunities, the new world. The stuff that explodes out of the way and just disappears is not stuff that you needed. And since the energy never dies, that just kind of transmutes into something that's a little more useful for the whole world. And the things that are really useful start to cool off and harden and become solid in your world. So that's what I'm thinking about today. I think last year was me creating the things that I needed to have to get to this explosive moment so that I could get rid of some things and then reharden some other things. Either I'm like the smartest person on the planet, not at all, or I'm just as crazy as everyone thinks I am. No, I don't even know if that made sense. What I meant, and I think what maybe makes more sense, is that personal identity is where we draw from when we are interacting with everybody, and it's typically the basis for the way you think about yourself and the way you make choices. And so last year I was the struggling single mom, and that was a good role for me. You know, I really needed to have that identity, and I was really good at that, being that person. I'm not struggling single mom anymore, you know? I'm not. I can leave that identity behind, and I can take the good pieces of it and work with them really well. But there are parts of that identity that don't serve me anymore. Struggling, number one. That isn't me. That's not who I am. That's not what I want to teach my children at all. So, clever single mom. That's what I am. You know, I don't even need the word single. Like, that doesn't even have to define me, you know? I like being a mom, though. I'm going to keep that definition. Clever, thriving mom. Female. You know, I don't even need to be a female. Like, I think I'm a nice balance of masculine and feminine energy. Okay, this was very heavy, Natalie. Okay, hope you have a great day, if that made sense. Take care. Bye.